Hello, everyone. I had a little time, so I might as well do the third part of my Batman Year One review. I know the sound isn't as great here. I don't know what to do. I just gotta bring it closer, but it doesn't matter. Again, before I go through my comicsology, let me see if I have it. I do. It's ready to go. Okay, good. I'm going to look a little into the way the original art, black and white art, looked for this, for part three. I don't want to show too much clearly, but I'll show a little here and there. Okay. Here's the cover. It's my cover image also on my video. Dead center is Batman. And then you got this also. Just the bats flying. It's pretty awesome. Hey, Jimmy. Hey, Raul. Hey, Michelle. How's it going, guys? Guys and gals. Yeah, look at this. It's great stuff. You see a little more. You see a little more musculature there with Batman. A little more than Mazzucchelli was doing because of the intensity and the stress of what he's going through, being thrown around by this explosion. The building was just bombed with him in it. It's a great shot here, and again a great balance of black and white. Great balance of black and white. Great shadow. I'll show a few more. It's a great helicopter. Very simply, elegantly drawn. The buildings, the cars, the people, everything is just sound. Blue sound. If you remember in the beginning, that kick that Bruce Wayne does at home for the tree. It's great stuff, man. Great stuff. All right, guys. I think I'm going to get right to the review on comicsology. I just want to show a little of the huge original art. Again, look at this. Look at the size of this thing. 14 by 21, which is the size of my current pages for the current project I'm doing. 14 by 21. It's huge. Ended up being printed by 8 by 14, which is the tallest of any of the stories I've done. It'll be printed in that size, which is awesome. All right, guys. Hello, John. Thanks, Michelle. It really is awesome, this book. So here we go, guys. I gotta get my reading, writing, drawing glasses. And here we go. This is part 3. This is Bosch Fawston, cartoonist, part 3 of my Batman Year 1 review. Let me get this right. It's not okay. It is right. I gotta get that flap up on top. It keeps coming down. It's so annoying. Okay, this should be good. All right, here's the cover, and then here we go. They've got him cornered. They've got him outnumbered. They've got him trapped. They're in trouble. Love that. Black Dawn. Batman Begins took a little from this, where he had a little communication with the bats and was able to use them against the cops to escape, if you recall that. So here we go. Batman being thrown around like a rag doll because of the bomb that Brandon sent into the building to kill Batman. This is their goal now because he crossed the line, according to some of the savages at that restaurant, at that mansion actually, where the mayor and all the criminals were there. The mayor, the commissioner, the gangsters, and Batman put a hole in that wall and told them, "You have eaten well. You have eaten Gotham's wealth, its spirit. Your feast is nearly over. From this moment on, None of you are safe. It was an awesome little speech. Bombed the wall, made a big hole in the wall, knocked out all the lights, and then knocked out the last light of their food. And after that, that's when they said, okay. Because at first they were almost humoring him. They said, look, man, he's taking people's attention away from us, right? And they like that there's a hero out there taking care of them, you know? Hell, guys. Yeah, so let me just get going. This is Bruce Wayne in his journal. Batman in his journal writing this. Stairwells collapsing. Fall with. Get away from the fire. That old man doesn't have a chance. Can't help him. Can't help him. I love that. It's in his mind. You know, he's. This is why Gordon is starting to understand. Sorry, I got these goddamn sirens. This is why Gordon is starting to understand her. He's like, he did save that old woman. I don't know. Maybe a pure vigilante wouldn't be doing that necessarily. Oh, okay. So he goes screaming, can't help him. For the third time, he says, can't help him. Oh no, thermite in my belt, catching fire. Get it off. Still have weapons in cape and boots. Need them. God damn it, look at that. That's a disadvantaged Batman big time in this incredible, tense situation. His whole belt goes up in fire and flames. Need them if I survive. So he has a few weapons in his, as he says, in his boots, in his cape. Metal, trapdoors metal, might be enough to protect me, provided that warning is a lie. Danger, electricity, 80,000 watts. Lucky. Keep the pick in my glove. Lucky. It's not lucky. He's prepared. Great shot there of the city, and they keep bombing away. They want to kill Batman, period. Because he's the danger. He's the threat to their power. Like the Democrats treat Trump. I'm not saying Trump's a hero in that way, but the point is that he's a threat to their hold on power. That's how the left treated. Again, the left made Trump bigger than he ever had to be. They made him into this legend after they tried to kill him. Also, he never had to be that way, but they made it so. It's like, okay, and here they are trying to kill Batman as well to get him out of the way, so they can keep their power, keep their pampered lives at the expense of others. So here's Selina Kyle to be Catwoman. Love that those ink lines by Mazzucchelli. Shows that close cropped fur, not bushy, just really short hair. It's nicely done. It's a great shot here, also with all the cats, and Holly's there. It's a great shot with the shadow. She goes, "Go away, Otto. You don't need for an hour." She goes, probably say, "Motherfucker." Siamese, too noisy. Should have left you at the market. Whole crew now ganging up. It's mutiny. Holly, what the hell time is it? Selina, outside. Explosions. Christ, not even light out. Christ, 5 in the morning. I'm being serious, Selina. Things are blowing up over by Robinson Park. Maybe Brandon's cornered a jaywalker. Yeah, everyone knows that Brandon's to be this more or less a terrorist in town. Can't wait to blow shit up. Maybe Brandon's cornered a jaywalker. Turn the TV on, Holly. Got to have something on this. Here we go. Brandon and his entire terrorist crew. It's the same shot of the city, but the bomb went off. I love when artists do that. It's the same exact image. Mazzucchelli actually does that a number of times in Asterios Polyp. He has one shot of Asterios Polyp's apartment, and throughout the entire graphic novel, you see it change in different ways. It's messy, it's clean, it's different, it's there, that. It's really, really cool, just to establish it in that particular way. The 5th load goes up. I pray it'll be the last. The 5th bomb, the 5th explosion, incredible. It's like they just want to go there and make sure he's dead. That's why they go in a building, to make sure he's dead. I pray the 5th load goes up. This is Gordon now. I pray it'll be the last. He will be anyway. He will be soon anyway. I pray it'll be the last. He will be soon anyway. I don't know what that means. If it's, is it just me or I don't know. Brandon and the collection of sociopaths he called a SWAT team will see to that. The fifth load goes up. I pray it'll be the last. He'll be soon anyway. He'll be last. I don't know. He'll be dead. The last. Anyway, commissioner's orders. That's what Brandon told me. The police commissioner of Gotham City wants a corpse. Yeah, he had to put it in that very explicit way. The police commissioner of Gotham City wants a corpse. He wants to murder someone. Someone who's been helping the city, unlike the commissioner. This is Unit 3. And also notice, we don't see Loeb on the streets. We don't see him, fighting crime. We always see Gordon, even when he's commissioner. He's always fighting crime. This is Unit 3. We are approaching target area. Watch where you're going, you. No prisoners, men. Lieutenant Gordon, you shouldn't be standing just yet. I'm all right. I think he has a concussion. He was knocked out. Batman, he's made enemies of every criminal in Gotham and nearly every elected official. They've only got him cornered because he got hurt saving a woman, an old woman's life. Check it out. This is pretty good. They've only got him cornered because he got hurt saving an old woman's life. We, of course. I love that. It's starting to turn. We're starting to see Batman as a potential ally. That's the moment. This and also the one last issue where he says, but he saved that old woman, that old lady. So that's not what a bad guy does. That's what a hero does. Not necessarily that a hero only has to sacrifice himself, but the point is that sometimes you take a little risk to save others, and especially if you're more fit, if you're more sound, if you're a fighter, if you're more trained. Report that the Batman has been surrounded by Gotham police after he attacked 2 officers. This is a news report. One of them, hero cop, Lieutenant James Gordon. Interesting that they call him hero cop. And I don't think they're being sarcastic, the media. And I think also for the lack of heroes on the Gotham City police force, he stands out. All you got to do in some world, you got to be a decent human being and you're considered great. It's like this, a small example here. I draw Muhammad. Therefore, I'm called all these, extraordinary compliments and stuff. But the fact is, it's not because I'm what they say I am. It's because most people are pussies. That's why. That's why. That's the real thing. It's not because I'm just an American who loves free speech and who wants to defy this enemy in a time of war. Just because most people are pussies about it doesn't mean I am what they say I am. These extravagant compliments. Anyway, the vigilante is now trying to hide in an abandoned tenement off Robinson Park. Gunfire has been heard and explosions. What the hell? Grab your coat. Down, Otto. There's plenty. So Selina wants to go to the scene of the crime. Now, there is tense silence. Eyewitnesses say a heavily armed SWAT team of 18 men has entered the building. It's interesting. They have the bat signal there, the bat symbol, but they don't mention Batman. They don't mention him, but the bat symbol is on the TV screen. Okay, sorry. The vigilante is now trying to hide. Okay, apologize. So here's Brandon's terrorist crew, who are supposed to be cops, but they're not. They're here to make sure that they ended up murdering Batman. We have entered the lobby. No sign of him yet. Unit 1 reporting. Second floor is a mess. Nothing living. Unit 2 reporting. Found a body under the water heater. Just an old wino. Oh, yeah. Yeah, make themselves feel better. Rationalize what they did. Just a wino. Big shit. Keep it tight. Over here. Give me some light. That's a great shadow work right there. Flashlight. But bouncing up against a wall there. Just a chimney. No, down there. Over there. The floor. If he got down there, trapdoor's metal, he might have survived. So perforate it, soldier. You soldier is supposed to be a cops, SWAT team, but they see themselves as fanciful as soldiers. Killing innocents. Oh yeah, that's real soldier. That's like the savage jihadists. They fancy themselves warriors. Warriors don't chase down men, women and children to butcher them. Units 1 and 2, stay where you are. This is only precautionary fire. If he's down there, he trapped himself. Bracka, 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 bracka. Shooting away. Prager, Fenton, Sussman, downside, move it. Checking basement area, no trouble yet. Another wino up here. He's cold. Wait, got something. No, it's just a dog. Yeah, just a dog. They also killed a dog. No trouble yet. Steady burst if you find him. No matter how dead he looks, go for the chest. We'll need his face for identification. These guys, it's like you know, even from their perspective, even if they believe that they're law officers, even if they think that, you don't kill people like that. You don't. You try to arrest them, and also for the fact that the city's so corrupt, they know that the city, that their corruption forced a vigilante onto the city. If they weren't so bad, he wouldn't exist, Batman. Gotham has to be a hellhole for Batman to work. Has to be, or else why is he there? Batman, he sneaks up, pinches the guy's nerve, knocks both of them actually out. Look at that, right there, right there. Jesus, another wino. They said the place was deserted. Okay, they're finally starting to have a little humanity's popping up a little to say, my God, man, what the hell? We killed a whole bunch of guys here. That's a great staircase right there. Dilapidated. Look at that. Holes in there, old, weathered, broken. The line works great. Hey, Roll. I was looking for something to sit down and watch with my Chinese food. Glad Bosch came on. Thanks, man. Enjoy. I'm enjoying it. So Super must have lived here. Nobody home now. That callousness, man. These are bad guys. Again, look at the shot also. It's the same exact shot here and there. I love that. He did that twice so far. And someone brought that down. That someone is Batman. He goes, nothing here, man. We're coming back up. Boom! I like you right where you are, Brandon. That's a good look. Hold your fire. You'd only kill your men. Too many people have died already. Have the other squads withdrawn. I can't guarantee their safety. So Batman took that down right on top of them so they can't get out. No use. Something's on top of it. Units 1 and 2 converge on lobby. He's here. Shoot on sight. He drops that little gas pellet. Here, sir. A hole in the wall. Must have been a fireplace. Must have been a fireplace here once. Must have kicked through. Climbed up the chimney. What? Gas masks. Fast. And check out Gordon. Unit 1, do you copy? I think Brandon needs some help, Lieutenant. That's Merkel again. His face in shadow. It's always in silhouette. We can't help, Merkel. Orders. Breaks my heart. I like that. Stand back. Stand back. Let us do our job. Batman, Selina. Somebody just said he's alive. Maybe we'll see him. We'll see his corpse. The cynical Selina. Hail, headless bourgeois. Jimmy says to Raoul about the Chinese food. Good choice in food and entertainment. Personally, I'm chilling before old man hockey tonight. Very cool. So Headless Bourgeois says, hail, boss. Just finished watching part 2, catching up on part 4 right now. Of the Daredevil Born Again? Yes. Yeah, this is part 3. And I'll do part 4 probably tomorrow. I can't say when, though. I get these little pockets of time sometimes. I'm like, all right, I'll make the most of it. Because again, I want to stream, but I want to work and back and forth. So I'm starting to figure out some kind of a schedule here. But thanks for watching. Appreciate it. Thank you. Thanks for being here, guys. Appreciate it. It's a smaller live crew than earlier, but that's fine. You guys can always watch this later anyway. And if you haven't read it, if you're here and you haven't read it, I recommend leaving now read it, and then maybe come back at some point. Hey, Liam, how's it going? Does that mean okay? Actually, no. I think you lost your X account. Did you get it back, Liam? Did you get it back? Let me know. So here's the commissioner with the helicopter pilot. Sir, he's taken out Unit 3, the whole unit, Commissioner. This will not do. This will not do at all. What's wrong with our marksman? I trust you didn't get me a blind marksman, did you? You just want him dead. It's like, come on, just kill him. It's like the guy's just one guy. Um, oh, okay. I'm sorry to hear that, Liam. That sucks. I lost mine 2018. They banned me for life on the old Twitter. And then I tried to get it back. I couldn't. And when Elon came back, I signed up for a new one, got it. Now I have like 12,000 more followers than I had last time because I ended up with 14,000 followers 2008. And then now I have 26,000 followers. So it's not bad. And no matter what I post, guys, so far so good. They punish me a little here and there from Mama cartoons, but so far so good. But it's a platform you want to be on. So if you can get back on, Liam, I think it's important. I think you have a backup account, which is good. Um, yep. You want that back. You build your platforms and you get some screwy reasons, some strange reasons sometimes. And sometimes it could be some kind of glitch. It could be. But most of the time it's some scumbag in there who wants to pay, teach someone a lesson. But so far, overall, X is 10 times better than Twitter. Overall. Yeah. Liam says, I'm just really stressing over the fact that I can't get in contact with artists I was getting art from. Evening, Omni. Grumpy old ninja Kentaro Hill. Um, I hope you get it back, Liam. It's important to have these platforms from YouTube to X and so on. Really is. We do our work, but we want to also promote the work, and that's a really good way to do it. By the way, guys, I made use of the promotion for the individual posts on X. They worked really well at first, and then they didn't. Really well to the point where I made clearly more than I put in, but then they started not promoting them. I don't know why. So I got a refund for two of them, and I'm looking for a third one because the last three did not do good numbers at all. And I'm trying to find again, guys. I'm trying to find advertising avenues that a little off the grid. Maybe Breitbart never got back. So hey, here's what I'm trying to pitch. Here's my campaign, and I want to put an ad. Didn't get back at all. It sucks. Absolutely sucks. I don't know what other thing to do right now except maybe some super chats to remind people here clearly on X, on YouTube. Okay, so Commissioner Loeb says, I trust you didn't get me a blind marksman, did you? It's a great shot, guys. Really well drawn by Mazzucchelli. Really well drawn. Cut down to the bone. No excess detail. It's everything you need is here. All the line work's there. Those are clearly people, even though they're just dashes and lines. That's a bombed out building, and the helicopter is moving. Well, yeah, Flutterbat, the Twitter, of course, they were commie Nazis. Elon is not, even though he's called Nazi. um, it's a different thing. It's not good for Liam right now, clearly, but it's a different thing. Again, I put my mom cartoons regularly there. I'm still on there. Um, I don't know. I don't know, but I do hope you get it back, Liam. Let me continue. No, sir, he's our best man, the marksman, the shooter, the sniper. But there are 100 places to hide in there. Until the sun is higher in the sky, it won't be long, sir. So here's Batman. There's a cat hanging out near him. Maybe he thinks he's being next to someone who will protect him because its bombs are going off like crazy. You got 5 bombs dropped. This is Batman speaking in his mind. The only other survivor of the attack shares a shrinking shadow with me. I owe him an apology. I've made a mess of things. Let it all get out of hand. No, no, you didn't, Batman. No, you didn't, Bruce Wayne. But we tend to take far more discredit than we deserve sometimes. It's the scumbags who want you dead, who want to keep this city nice and dirty, and you're in the way of that. I've made a mess of things. Let it get out of hand. The enemy is closing in, relentless, unstoppable. I love the way he calls him enemy. Again, it's through the entire story. He calls him the enemy. Love it. We've lost that language even when I called the Islamic enemy the enemy, I said, whoa, come on, the enemy, that's so old-fashioned. It's like, what? That's the truth. The enemy is closing in, relentless, unstoppable. Through a crack in the wall, I look at him. That's a great shot. Great line work. With my belt, I lost my rope, my thermite, my tear gas, even my batarangs. I'm down to the blowgun in my boot. So they got free, the guys. Step it up, careful. Stairs are giving. Meow. What the hell? Just a cat, man. It's a bat we're after. Keep an eye out. Knew he wouldn't stay quiet. Siamese. We heard Selena complaining about the Siamese cat also. Pretty funny. A little interconnection there. Down to the blowgun and its 3 darts. And an unofficial invention of Wayne Electronics. Haven't tested it for this great a distance or for use in daylight. Too bad I can't afford to patent it. I'd make a fortune. But then I already have a fortune. So he takes off the heel here. That's similar to what Reacher in the season 3 was doing. So here we go. If I didn't, I couldn't have built the device. If my family manor weren't placed over a huge cave, the Bat Cave, I call it. Ski, bats. It's a great way that Mazzucchelli's conveying the bats. It's all black, right? And then you start seeing these things look like they're chipping away, but they're not. It's just the bats flying through. Very impressive. It's full of bats, extraordinary creatures, bats, nearly blind. They are sensitive to a range of sound far beyond our hearing. Took me weeks to find an ultrasonic tone that attracts them. All of them. Wayne Manor is miles from Gotham. They'll take a few minutes to get here. Should things go well. Wait. Let them waste all the time they want. Steady, man. Just that cat again. Getting on my nerves. Even thinking about taking out the cat. Grumpy old ninja, I wouldn't recommend experiencing this story this way. I recommend getting off this stream and reading it at some point and then maybe coming back. You don't want to experience it this way. You don't. So here's the guys. Oof, whoever Batman is, he's stronger than a quiet. He could be anywhere. Said he was in the chimney there. Hold it, you idiot. That's Brandon. Drop that beam. They weren't quick enough. They're useless. We're lucky he didn't kill them. They know Batman hasn't killed. Now fan out. You're leaving yourselves wide open. Batman. That dart. The slightest dose of anaconda on the darts. Enough to put a man to sleep for a day or so. 12 men left, 2 darts. No good. Great shot right there. Just dodging those bullets right there. Great shot. 1 bullet will make all the difference. They've got thousands. He's in deep shit here, man. Miller really put him in the shit. Big time. Great shot here, man. Look at that. And again, Mazzucchelli's cape is very alive. Great movement. And he chose to... It's a black cape, but whenever it's on a move, he chose to open it up to put all the texture in there and make it look really, really good. Very active. There. Can't see him. He moves so fast. Dark. Could be anywhere. Damn that cat. Almost shooting the cat. There, so fast. And Batman saves the cat and gets shot in the arm. He's shot in the leg already. Stopped the bleeding, but now he gets shot in the arm. He's in deep shit. Tagged him. Close in. Commissioner, for God's sake, come in. Those idiots are firing out the windows, for God's sake. They shot Merkel. Holy shit. Fucking slobs. Look at the elegance of the cat, Mazzucchelli, the way he drew it. Look at that. Awesome. It goes right to Catwoman. Look at Holly. Dodging the bullets. Great shot here. Look at Batman there. You know, it's a great shot. He's in the distance. These guys look like giants. Of course, it's just perspective, but it has that real foreboding look. And he's hurting bad. Got him. Getting close. Cut the bastard in half. I got to go back to something, though, guys. Give me 1 second. Just that shot right there. I got to show you that shot. It's in the first issue where Bruce Wayne's training outside in Wayne Manor. And it's the same exact shot right there. Look at this right here. Okay, the tree. And then look at right there. It's the same exact shot. Awesome. Brings down that column. He's bleeding bad. He got shot twice, and he's still on his feet. I mean, there's only so much training he can do before he just collapsed, but he's a young man, highly trained, and he's got this intensity about him. He just won't quit. Got him. Getting close. Cut the bastard in half. Got him, man. We got him. These guys are fucking almost ejaculating. We got him. We got him. Fucking gangsters, criminals, savages. Groggy, losing too much blood. Had to put a bullet in my good leg, didn't they? Forget it. Ignore it. Put what's left into it. Boom! Brings the house down on them with that one last kick. They could have blown him away. To be no more Batman at that point. And he dodges it. And then he has one thought right there. He turns around and he goes, "You're the one who tried to shoot the cat." That's awesome. You try to shoot this innocent little creature because you're a piece of shit. Cough, can't see, can't move. Get me out. Batman punches him through the brick wall. The crowd is all screams and angry shouts. Then I hear a wrecking ball take out the wall. And a hardware store clatter across the street. A cheer goes up. They made a hero out of him. Then the cheering disintegrates. And the screaming starts again. So Batman's got a few left there. Art, get out of the way. Look, what the hell? Up there. My God, my God. The bats come in. Great shot by Mazzucchelli to show one in detail and the rest in silhouette. Strong. Very, very strong. Great composition. Great just drawing ability. And again, guys, if you looked at my Daredevil Born Again review, this is 6 months later. He was experimenting left and right on that review. He was experimenting in the finished work. In the finished work, again, the pencil's more or less the same that you see here and there. The finished work is very different. And here he took 6 months to decide on this kind of iconography. Very simple, very different than the Daredevil Born Again. And still great. It's great, it's just different. This is an artist feeling himself and getting to be more refined, simplified. It's awesome. So check that out also. Batman running among the bats, being surrounded by them, protected by them, really. My Lord, what's there? Down there. He's got a motorcycle. Get after him or I'll have you shot. Get after him or I'll have you shot. Good guys. All right, let me check out some comments here, guys. Breitbart wouldn't get this. They aren't the same. Now, Breitbart himself, Andrew Breitbart, um, seven. My God, are we talking 17 years ago? 17 years ago, 16 years ago. I contacted him. He wrote back in all caps, "I love Pigman." I was blown away. He knew about Pigman. We spoke on the phone for a few hours. He invited me at this one place. It was Hollywood parties in this LA bar every Tuesdays in Hollywood, and got to meet him, got to hang out with him, went to parties with him, and just a hell of a guy. Would love to have seen where he'd be today because he was a trailblazer. He was tragic, tragic that he was taken so damn soon. But yeah, I had a run-in with his editor years ago. I wrote a few articles. He thought they were. He basically canceled 5 of my articles preemptively. He was an old leftist liberal turned right. You know what that means? Is they're always wobbly. Not always. Some of them are go extreme, like well, extreme. They go good, like David Horowitz. He went all the way. He went from the left, from a commie to actually fighting the commies passionately. But some of these guys, they still have a little left in them. They have it in them still. I even get accused, you're still Muslim. If I disagree with some right winger and something, right? You're still Muslim, you bastards. Like, no. What? That's a little desperate. But Breitbart was great. He was a great man. And it's just not the same, clearly, without him there. Because there's no reason why they shouldn't be willing to just take my money and advertise, Pigman. I'm not going to do anything. I'm not going to have Muhammad on the ad. It's just Pigman with some jihadists. Why not? Let me go down a few. You guys having a conversation amongst yourselves. That's fine. I'm just not going to really read those. Yeah, you guys, if you haven't seen this, you guys got to get it. I mean, if you love comics, this is great, great comics. Earl Julius says, "Bosh, if you ain't read the book, get the hell out of here, you bum." It's true. I would not want to experience this great book like this. Absolutely not. It'll be, I'm taking something great away from you guys. You don't want that. You want to read it in your own mind, in your own hands. You want to enter that world. And then if you want to check out the review after that, cool. Egon the Dragoncock, fantastic setup about the bats, or Grumpy Old Ninja Kentaro. I've been reading Daredevil Frank Miller era lately. Yeah, it's great stuff, man. David L. Hey, David. Bosch Falson's going for 2 comic reviews today. Love it. Yep. I had a little time. I had a little window, so I made the most of it. Grumpy Old Ninja. This looks great. It does look great. It's fantastic. Those bats are wonderful. Smokescreen. Yep. Beautiful. They were his allies. In Batman Begins, when Gordon asks Batman in that building, he goes, "What's that sound?" Batman says, "Back up." They're back up, the bats. SXS says, "Always thought Batman using bats were underrated." Yeah, it's like, of course, make use of it. Grumpy Old Ninja says, "Andrew Breitbart, cool. Breitbart News, not cool now." Yeah. Yeah, it's just not, the guy was a passionate fighter. Who was honest also. People asked him why he doesn't go after Islam. He goes, "I don't really know too much." And he goes, "I'm willing to know. I want to know. I want to read Robert Spencer's books and so on, but I just don't know." I respect that. I do. But if you're going to be in this world, if you're going to be in the broadcast world, if you're going to be a pundit, you should inform yourself about those type of things. And he was willing to do that. Unfortunately, it was, whatever reason, his health, he didn't take care of himself. He drank, didn't sleep much. He had a heart attack. People, of course, the conspiracy theorists, he was murdered. Nah, he wasn't murdered. I think he just wasn't healthy, unfortunately. I know I saw him in person. He was a big guy, and I don't think he took care of himself too well. Um, grumpy old Ninja Kentaro said there's entirely too much communism in journalism in America. Well, yeah, it's not journalism. That's the thing. It's not. It's pure propaganda. To even call it journalism is just it's too much. It's pure propaganda, whether on the left and some on the right. And then you get some pockets of credible individuals who are clearly they have an opinion about something, but they report the news as is, and then they comment on it. That has lost. We used to have editorials, right? Editorial, the sections, and then the news sections, completely blended now. There's no distinction. It's all editorial now. We need objective news. We need objective news. And again, well, that's impossible. Bullshit. You have to rise up to it. It's once you say it's impossible, yeah, you won't want to do it. It's also an excuse not to do it. Well, it's impossible, so I won't even try. No, news should be objective. We should have the news report to us as is what happens, and then have an opinion person after the fact. But at least first present the news as is. You know, individuals like Megyn Kelly will present the facts, will present the news, and then have her opinion on it. That's the way you do it. I'm not saying she's perfect or anything, but I have my disagreements here and there. But overall, she's very good. The other guys are pure propagandists. Pure propagandists. They will lie, steal, cheat, say anything to rip the rug right under you. They have no care for the country, for the good of the country. It's a terrible thing for our news not to be news. It's terrible. It's not good for anyone. And people who are reliant on it are really stupid at this point. Reliant on Rachel Maddow for news, that's retarded at this point. Pure propagandists. These are communists. Communists. For crying out, grumpy old ninjas. For crying out loud, RT is less communist than American journalism, but back to Batman. RT. I don't know. Trevor, you sneaky dog, sneaking in a second stream on me. Skull, Trevor. Flutter bat. Pigman is like Batman without any limits. While Batman will only go so far with justice, Pigman has no limits to how far he'll go for justice. That's true. Pigman will kill these murderers, put them down like the mad dogs they are, because he knows that if he lets them live, they're going to kill people. That's why I thought it was stupid for Frank Miller to even think about having Batman face Al Qaeda years ago, and then he turned into the Fixer. His initial idea was Batman. It doesn't make sense at all. It's stupid because he's going to knock him out. It's like, no. These are mass murderers. What do you do with mass murderers? You would kill them. That's all. I will get back to your comments, guys, after a few more pages. My lord, what's there? Down there. He's on a motorcycle. Get after him or I'll have you shot. Get after him. The savage commissioner. Batman says, actually, this is Gordon. Gordon is in yellow. Batman's in gray, and it's a different font text. So, again, I got this. I'm very particular about these things. That leg is a little off there. I just think it's like a little pudgy. I know it's supposed to be foreshortened, but again, like the other one, again, this is a beautiful work of art. He's great. He just said, I think because of the choice he made with making Batman as simple as he did, sometimes he can't put the delineation of the muscles to make it look like it's actually a little more foreshortened than it is. But that's again, I admit it is nitpicking, and I don't do that for here. I just look at him like, yeah, it could have been better, a longer leg at least. Anyway, Commissioner Loeb chased a cloud of bats for 12 blocks. When the cloud broke up, he found that all he was Commissioner Loeb chased a cloud of bats for 12 blocks. When the cloud broke up, he found out that was all he was chasing. Okay. Somewhere along the way, the Batman must have taken a turn and told his pets to keep going. Always eager to please the commissioner, Detective Swanson pursued the bats to the bitter end. And speaking of bitter ends, every member of Brandon's team, every cop, and everybody in the crowd were vaccinated for their bat bites. Never have so many had so much trouble sitting down. That's hilarious. Look at Holly. It's great, great expression on Selena and Holly. Gordon is doing his detective work here. The owner of a nearby men's store opened up his shop 4 hours later to find a three-piece suit missing and payment for it sitting on his cash register. Four of Brandon's men were hospitalized with broken bones. Well, they're lucky. They're lucky Batman was as non-lethal. They're lucky that he doesn't kill Pratt, because these guys are terrorists, flat out. Pratt, who Batman had punched through a brick wall, suffered from 5 broken ribs and internal bleeding. The dead winos had no relatives to complain about their firebombing. Everyone who would have ordered Brandon or Loeb up on charges remains unavailable to me by appointment or phone. That's a great shot there of that sad, dead wino bum. Look at that. And here we go. It doesn't help when you're trying to prove yourself, whatever you did in Chicago, as Miller alluded to. Maybe it was him, quote unquote, ratting out on the rats. Therefore he's not to be trusted. But when you're trying to do that, you're trying to gain someone's trust, or even of the reader's trust or the reader's respect. He goes and cheats on his wife as my prime. And again, it doesn't. Well, most people do it. Would they? I don't know. Heroes shouldn't fall to that kind of you know temptation. They shouldn't. And Gordon is a hero, as has my prime suspect in this case, Bruce Wayne, the richest man in Gotham. So that's his prime suspect to be Batman. Because Sarah Essen told him that, well, you don't know this, not being in town from Gotham, but Bruce Wayne's parents were murdered when he was very young. He was like, huh. He came back recently and stuff, and he has a lot of money because Gordon was saying, Batman must have a lot of money here to do what he does, to have the kind of weapons that he has. Sergeant Essen informed me that Wayne's parents were murdered by a mugger when he was 6 years old. That's enough motive, I suppose, to make a man dress up like Dracula and assault criminals and save cats. And again, it is a child's form of revenge, isn't it? To dress up as someone else, to fight crime. Batman is a very dramatic figure, but he's also like, in that sense, it's like he's stunted. That was a child's idea. Now, again, I know he only came to the Batman persona years later, but the point is that to become a crime fighter outside of the law, not within the law, he did know that. He did know that he'd be a vigilante. That's interesting. Wayne's butler informed me that his boss has been skiing in Switzerland for 6 weeks. I squeezed permission for an international call from Captain Pierce. I've had easier root canals. You'd think Pierce was paying for the call out of his own pocket. And I spoke to somebody in Switzerland who said he was Bruce Wayne, then told me he'd taken a nasty spill on the slopes, broken both legs and one arm, but assured me he'd be back in the country in a month. Said he'd be happy to talk with me, laugh when I mentioned Batman, asked me for his autograph. So Sarah says, Wayne could afford an impersonator, and casts on his arm and legs would cover bullet wounds. Exactly right. Exactly where Batman received them. He goes, I'm sorry, Essen, did you say something? Doesn't call her Sarah here, he calls her Essen, at least from that distance. Yes, sir, it's quitting time. Share a cab. Think of her as a cop. Think of her as a cop. So here's Bruce Wayne actually skiing now. Again, a little stunted here. Bruce Wayne's a big guy. His head's a little too big, but that's fine. And again, you guys might even call me on that in my pigment comic at times. I love to hear it because, things like that I like to fix. It's not a big deal. It's just that it doesn't look like he has a big head and a shorter body than Bruce Wayne ought to have. And that's just me, isolated, focusing on it. I leave the cast and the sleeping alibis back at the lodge. They were so eager to support my story with Lieutenant Gordon. All I had to say was that a woman was involved. One of them even pretended to be me, just for laughs, before I arrived. The air is cold and sharp and hard to breathe. It's good to be alive. I don't deserve to be alive. This isn't a game. I can't afford mistakes. I love that. I love that the seriousness of Bruce Wayne kicks in, and also his, you know, kicking himself a little. Of course, he overblames himself. He's like, he felt that he fucked up that situation. No, no, he's trying to do good, and those guys are trying to do bad, and he was caught up in the middle of it. I don't deserve to be alive. This isn't a game. I can't afford mistakes. I have to learn to make it work, step by step, method by method. But that won't be enough. Too many people want me dead. I can't do it alone. I need an ally, an inside man. I need Jim Gordon on my side. Love that. Love that it's put in explicit terms. June 17th, you see the pimp on the ground, bloody. And you see these whores there. I mean, really gruesome ones, too. Look at them. Holy shit. And Holly and Selena are out of the whore business. It's terrible that you got this young girl there. My God. But that does happen. It does happen. People would blame Miller for doing that probably, but no, it does happen. It is something that is terrible. And Selena, I like the way he makes Holly speak. Selena, you punch Stan. We're changing our line of work, Holly. I got an idea. It's getting to be a habit for Essen and I to have a cup of coffee at the local diner before calling it a night. Actually, I'm the only one who has coffee. She goes for herb tea. She'd qualify as a health nut if she didn't smoke. We stayed longer tonight, hoping to wait out the rain. We run out of shop talk, but keep going. Turns out her first name is Sarah, and her family is from Germany, a generation back. She's got a thing about the bad. She's got a thing about the bad rap that Germans generally get. She got into law enforcement after being told she was too masculine for about 6 other careers. Whoever told her she was masculine must have been blind, deaf, and dumb. It's good writing, man. It's fun. The rain's eased up, and I'm an hour late and feeling terrible about having forgotten to call Barbara when we decided to risk it and look for a cab. That's the thing, man. He's a real fucking heel here. His wife's home, a baby, pregnant, and he's fucking around here. And whatever anyone out there, well, whatever this and that, it's just not good. I mean, it's not. I know it's a fictional character. I really don't like when they put heroes, morally compromised heroes. I just don't. Not in things like that. These are serious things here. A group of bikers notice Essen's legs and make the usual remarks. We ignore them and keep walking. Turns out she's from Chicago. Some years back, small world. He's from Chicago too. Even went to the same park, to the same place for ribs. I'm sure I would have noticed her. Though, come to think of it, she was probably in high school then. Gotham weather, she's a lot younger than him. Gotham weather, just when the rain seems to be clearing up, lightning flashes. And we learn how Noah felt, not having an ark. We settle for a doorway. Yeah. It's a great shot, though, with the lightning. Whoosh. All white, black shadows back. A cab comes. She takes it. We don't say goodnight. Yeah, you feel dirty, and you should. August 7th, I don't know, Selena. I mean, we spent all our money on that costume. I mean, it's pretty queer. I mean, it's money, Holly. Be a kick. Just watch. So Catwoman comes out. Selena, I hate this city. This is Gordon again. I hate this city. I hate myself and the night and everything it brings. Yeah, you should hate yourself. Mostly I hate it when she cries. Yeah. So her cries are bugging you? Another fight. We fight so much, Barbara and I. She tells me I'm away too much. And just when I should apologize, I snap at her. I freeze up inside. Tonight she called the office and I wasn't there. I was out having coffee with Sarah. Sarah, my God, I'm calling her Sarah now. It's all wrong. And Barbara's right, as always. Great shot, guys. Just great. And again, this is Richmond Lewis, Dave Mazzucchelli's wife, who's still married to, by the way, decades later. She added this. It's really, really nice touch. Very nice. Great drawing. And right now, I should be talking to her. Gordon says, right now, I should be talking to her, begging her to forgive me for the baby in her stomach and the way that I'm thinking about Essen. That's right. Call her Essen. Forget how she felt, how her body and her lips felt. Barbara, I should talk to her. I shouldn't be thinking not about Sergeant Essen and not about Batman. He's a criminal. I'm a cop. It's that simple. But, hmm, but I'm a cop in a city where the mayor and the commissioner of police use cops as hired killers. He saved that old woman. He saved that cat. He even paid for the suit. The hunk of metal in my hands is heavier than ever. It's great, great. And a great choice to make a black background because he's just focused here. There's nothing else out there besides his wife, the bed, and him. And look at that, man. Look at that beautiful shot there. Just beautiful. Blending in with the black. Awesome. All right, guys. I'm going to check out some of your comments and make my usual pitch for a pigman. Thanks for being here, guys. Appreciate it. Still at 246 for the last day. I'll be getting a backer, at least, a few backers here and there every day, which is great. But I definitely want more. Definitely want more. I want to go strong into issue 2. And again, guys, any reservations? Let me know. Why and what for? I'll try to convince you to get it, to back it. There's nothing else like it out there. I will say that. Whatever else it is, there's nothing else like that out there. It's one of a kind. SXS says year 1 might be my favorite Batman story. Not a huge Scott Snyder fan, but his story Black Mirror was solid too. I'm not a Scott Snyder fan either. I got the Batman run he did because of Capullo. I haven't gotten any of the Batman days done, and I just looked at the Astonishing thing, or whatever it's called, Absolute Batman. I don't like it. The small head is it's offensive to me. It looks stupid. It makes him look dumb. A small head makes you look like you have no brain. I mean, really, it's dumb. And then you got Bane with even a smaller head. Stupid. Grumpy Old Ninja says 100% Bosch falsinated is not journalism, maybe not even yellow journalism. Yeah, all Obama's fault. Yeah, it's Obama and the crew who brought him in, and those around him, and those who couldn't wait for a guy like that, for that piece of shit, for that a communist with a hard spot for Islam, who was raised to be Muslim and a communist, both. I mean, he was, and the worst thing about Obama is the fact that he was raised by Muslims and communists and never challenged it. He embraced it all. A piece of shit. That tells you fundamentally he's not American. Yeah, he doesn't individuate. He doesn't become himself. He becomes what is only around him. Megan's still cool. She is. David L says, "What is your opinion on Laura Loomer Bosch?" I know Laura. I've even met her, and I've done work for her. I drew 13 drawings for her book, for each chapter heading. I also worked on this drawing of Jack Dorsey as the Taliban. The Taliban. It was Jack Dorsey with his beard, made him look like a Taliban, and calling him out for being a piece of shit, banning good people on the right. And ended up on Breitbart, ended up across town in LA, posters of it, put up in places that leftists wouldn't want to see, but it was there. And she had me on a few months ago, 2 months ago, about an hour, maybe, I think a little less than an hour, talking about my work, talking about the atrocity, Charlie Hebdo. And she gets a lot of flack. I know that. I get a lot of flack too, but not as much as her. She has a huge following. And she's very intense, and sometimes she makes some enemies. I think she's on the side of trying to get to the bottom of things and doesn't care if people hate her or not. You got to respect that. You may not like certain things, but she calls out Islam and communism, calls out people. Now she sometimes, I think, goes to a point where sometimes she makes enemies of people that maybe aren't her enemies, in order to get to the truth. Maybe when she gets a little older, she'll learn to pull back on certain things like that, but we'll see. So yeah, I think she's overall good. I think she's overall good. Let's see. Yeah, Flutterbat says, yeah, American journalism is literally nothing but far left communism. Now it is. They're not even allowed to be journalists unless they're far left. Yeah, I mean, the journalism schools, right? It's communists who teach them to manipulate the truth, to agenda everything. There's nothing about following the truth to wherever it leads. Nothing about that. Nothing. And these animals who go there, oh, okay, that's journalism. Instead of saying, what the fuck are you talking about? I quit. They actually go all the way and they become these liars, professional liars. That's all they do. Grumpy Old Ninja says, that is retarded. Richard Maddow is fake news incarnate. She's a piece of shit. Okay, yes. Grumpy. RT is a Russian news channel. Yes. That's the one that bought Russia Today. That's the one that bought, what do you call it? Lauren Chen, and bought, a little Tim Pool and David Rubin and some others. $100,000, they said, and they didn't question who they're getting paid for. That's not right. Benny Johnson, also a piece of shit. He got that, and also he was also blowing Andrew Tate, interviewing him as if he's interviewing someone great. Dumb fuck. So you got some people on the right who are fucked also, and they're opportunists. You can tell from Tucker Carlson to Candace Owens to Benny Johnson to all these rats, they're compromised. They're not there for the truth. They're there for something else, a profit, and then trying to pose as truth tellers. But they're there for the profit. They are. They're not truth tellers. They always navigate and only tell the truth about certain things. Like, they hate abusers of women, right? And yet they have Andrew Tate on, who thinks shit of women, who thinks nothing of women, who abuses them, who's charged with rape, who just supposedly beat up his girlfriend recently, a week or two ago, in LA when he was here. And now he had to fly back to Romania because there's a criminal charge against him. And outside of all that, he's a piece of shit on top of that. If you see his videos, talks about banging 14 to 15-year-olds, talks about that. And then he goes, oh, what's the limit there? Makes a joke about it. Anyone who surrounds themselves with him is a piece of shit. I mean, really are worthless pieces of shit. So yeah, I mean, look, guys, if all you wanted was a Batman review, and anyone who came in just for a Batman review, you can leave at that point, because I don't want to bite my tongue. This is my channel. I'll talk whatever I want to talk about, but I want to get the review, and now I got Pigman on screen, and I have the chat. We're going to discuss it, whatever the hell we want to discuss. Grumpy Old Ninja says, Russia Today would cheer for Pigman, whereas American news would decry him. Russia News? Russia Today? I don't think they would cheer. I think Russian people might. Those who suffered through Beslan and the massacre recently. Remember a year or two ago at the theater? I don't think Russia Today would. I really don't. They got their own problems with that Putin and those pieces of shits there. Now, I know some of you guys on the right like Putin. He's a piece of shit. He's a piece of shit dictator. That's what he is. He's been in power for over 25 years. You think that's natural? You think he's been voted in? No. He kills his critics. So SXS says the color contrast between these two pages is fantastic. Sorry. I must have missed that. Maybe you're talking about the wife when Batman in a blue cold night and they're in a warm home. Roll Julie, I wonder if there was a real Batman that appeared. Would Essen deduce it to be Elon? That's funny. That's right. Only because he's rich, right? Grumpy, talk about no uncertain terms. Flutterbass says Catwoman was so much cooler in the comics than in the movies. I never thought they got her character right in any of the movies. I think they got her pretty right in the Dark Knight. The Tim Burton one was silly, She gets revived by cats and she keeps dying, and then silly. But Michelle Pfeiffer looked, you know, killer. She looked great. She's beautiful. So cute also, She was beautiful but also cute. She had that look. Um, and while I don't really care for that actress who played Catwoman, I think she did a good job, all things considered. And the character herself, when that one moment, remember guys when communism hit more or less Gotham, when the Baines group went there and ripped the rich out of their homes, put the bums in there, and Holly, who's this Holly, was with her, and she said something like, there were she's lamenting the fact that she saw a picture of a family there. She goes, "This was someone's home," and then Holly's like, "Well, now it's our home," just like that, like the commies did. Um, Mikey Getz says the writing about the gun is awesome. It is. It really is awesome. Um, Raul Julia Zoe Kravitz looked nice though. She did. She's a beautiful woman. She is. She's an absolute doll. I just, she undercut her entire performance, and the writers and the director and all the idiots when she said white guys is like, what? Batman's a white guy. Your follower's a white guy. What? Your boss, this, that, your people around Gotham. We're talking about white guys. That's a problem, you dumb fucks. They shoved that in there like a shoehorn. It was ridiculous. And that was the big record scratch of the movie. It's not a great movie to begin with at all, The Batman. Absolutely not. It was a chore to go through. It was posing as darker than Nolan. It's like, it doesn't got to be, stupidly dark. It was stupidly dark with the whispery voice that Robert Pattinson did. Nah. Let's see what they do with part two, but wasn't impressed with part one. And also the goddamn Riddler, the way he was played, sucked. Absolutely sucked. Corny. Grumpy Old Ninja said, agreed. Moral compromise isn't used fairly. Not sure it actually can be when it comes to heroes. Sort of defeats the point of the heroes. It's why I'm not down with deconstruction. They're to be aspired to. Absolutely right. These are heroes. They're supposed to be better than others. You don't succumb to every little impulse, to every little, even if you're a married man, you might see a woman and find her attractive. Doesn't mean you're going to go bang her, in a split second. You destroy your marriage, you destroy your soul, you destroy your life. If you're married to her, if you're a free agent, if you're an individual, fine. I mean, whatever. If you're not married, but he has a kid and a wife, and it's like, and you want to be a good man, you want to prove you're a good man, great. And it's like, yeah, but she's too beautiful. Sure. Grumpy Old Ninja says, those are great shots. I think he's talking about the general book, and they are. SXS says something, back Pigman if you haven't. Listen to him, guys. Come on. Grumpy Old Ninja says, back Pigman. Back Pigman, guys. Come on. Come on, guys. There's no comic like it. Let me do my pitch and then read some more comments. Pigman number one. The Islamic background of twins comes at the forefront of their lives in 9/11, which is echoed by the comic book within Pigman vs. Superjihad. I'm an Eisner Award nominee. I debuted my first book, A Table for One, in 2004. I created Pigman not long after 9/11. He appears in my comics and books. I've written and drawn 7 books. I've written articles and have drawn cartoons for Breitbart, PJ Media, and Jihad Watch, Front Page Magazine, and the Limbo Letter. The Limbo Letter. I had 2 cartoons published in Rush Limbaugh's newsletter. You guys can check this out on your own. You can check out the video on your own, because I can't. If I play it, I might get hit again on YouTube. They say that I have no right to do that. Of course I do. Of course I have the right to do that. I paid for it. It was one of those music things that you can actually pay for. So unfortunately, anyway, I got 5 different covers, guys. Let me do this. Let me read this quick, guys, about this campaign. When 9/11 hit, my Muslim background came to the forefront of my life, and I knew I would respond to the atrocity with my art. So I thought about my Muslim background, what we were taught to hate, and I came up with the idea of Pigman, as he's the last thing in the world that the Islamic enemy would want to face. An ex-Muslim who's big, ruthless, and who wears pigskin leather to exploit their bigotry. Their bigotry, guys. I always get a kick out of it. I know I made it up, but it's just funny to me. he exploits their bigotry. Muslims hate pigs. He's like, oh, perfect, yeah. And that's what I thought. It was a eureka moment. I was like, perfect, man. Wrap him in pigskin leather. And then there's a story within a story of twin brothers, one a recovered Muslim, one a born again Muslim. The recovered Muslim, Killian Duke, is the cartoonist behind the Pigman comic book, and the born again Muslim, Salam Duke, becomes his archenemy, echoing Pigman's archenemy, Super Jihad. If this sounds and looks interesting to you, I can move on to Pigman number 2 and further. Here's some details. This is a relaunch of my longtime series, The Infidel, featuring Pigman, which is now simply titled Pigman. Issue 1 and 2 will include both issue 1 and 2 of my old series, but it will be remastered, where I'll be going through the comics page by page and improve them in drawing and dialogue. By the way, guys, I just looked in my files, and I wanted to make sure I had something, because I got rid of some of my. I had no space left in my computer. I got rid of some files for certain things, but my Pigman comics are intact, meaning I can redo some of the lettering, at least for issue 3, which now will be issue 2. I could redo the lettering entirely digitally. I hand wrote the lettering for issue 1 and 2. I might use digital lettering over them. I might do that for the consistency factor and the size of the balloons and so on. I might do that as well. I just want it to be a better version of the old comic. It's a better version, so a superior version. I can draw better now. I'm a better storyteller and so on. So we'll see. Open it up a little, have some splash pages, have double page spreads and so on. Better art, better, draftsmanship, better, and so on. And by issue 3, guys, it'll be all new material at that point. You guys no one will have seen what comes in issue 3. Nobody. Except me, that is. But anyway, so we will be going. I'll be going through the comics page by page and improve them in drawing and dialogue, and I will also be adding more moments, scenes, and pages to the issue, as well as new covers. This is an opportunity for me to introduce Pigman to a new audience in Comicsgate, and I'm very much looking forward to continuing my series with your help. If this campaign goes well, I can move on to issue number 2, and then by issue 3, it'll be all new material, and I hope to finish up the series with issue number 6, and then wrap it all up in a pigskin leather-bound hardcover. That's not a joke. It's something I've been thought about for years. It'll be Islam-proof, Muslim-proof. It'll be pigskin leather. What that consists of, I don't know. Maybe it's the face of Pigman, which only the mask parts will be. Maybe his fist. Maybe the entire cover will be pigskin leather. We'll see. It'll be very expensive. I don't know how much, but when the time comes, I think I'll be ready to wrap it all together. And diehards will definitely want it, so we'll see. And below are 9 pages for my comic book, which may or may not be changed from here to print, but I'll see. I think these pages are a good way for you to get a good idea about my comic book without giving too much away. Thank you very much for your time, and I hope to get to gain your support. Here's the 5th cover that I added. So here's the images from Pigman. There he is in all his glory. Crimson suit, dark black, red. September 11th, American flag. Also, he has the symbol of the Pentagon that was hit on 9/11, because we tend to forget that. There were 184 Americans who were killed that day, from the planes to the people in there, and I think they got to be acknowledged, regardless it's a government building. I know it's fashionable to be complete anti-government. They were workers. They were doing work for the country. There were some good people there, some good patriots. Anyway, so let me go through the preview just to give you a good idea of how it looks. There are street fights from the creator of Pigman within the comic book, Killian. Basically, the brothers are based on me. It's like as if I split myself in two. If I became a born-again Muslim, and then if I am who I am, which is a recovered Muslim. And Pigman comes from that. Pigman takes out Al-Qaeda number 2. And this is something that I did in my first comic and here, and I also do it in others. It's a panel within the panel that you can see right through Pigman there. You get to see what he's seeing. I like it. Some reviewers said that they never saw this in comics. I don't know. As far as I know, I just did it, and it worked well. So I said, okay, I'm gonna do it again. So he kills Al-Qaeda number 2. He kills a piece of shit, number 2. And the guy's like, Allahu Akrak. And Pigman just says, die. And then he gets shot in the back. Now, while his suit is bulletproof, it hurts like hell. So he was like, ugh. And then he turns around. Ew. And I don't know if I think I was conscious or maybe not, but I was thinking about Byrne, X-Men style, Wolverine, something along those lines with with Pigman's face here. Something along those lines. Um, I thought I liked the way it came out. You got the blood on that back also. And here's the brothers going at it. Just one. Let me just read this. He goes, "I should appreciate you're not," because at one point he basically says, "You're lucky, man. You're lucky we're blood." He goes, "I should appreciate that you're not physically assaulting me. How moderate of you. Look, I don't know I don't know what to tell you. Your problem with my work is your problem." About his pigment work. He goes, "No, no, no. See, it's not only my problem. There are a lot of guys who have a problem with you. A lot. But I told them, let me talk to him. I told them I'll take care of this." He goes, "You lied as usual." He goes, "Listen, this is deadly fucking serious." He goes, "I'm going to keep doing what I'm doing, and you do whatever the hell it is that you do." He hasn't seen him in a few years. He goes, "Are you willing to die for Pigman?" He goes, "I am. But are you willing to kill me for it?" And then it goes, transitions from the brother story to the Pigman story. And Pigman was caught at the edge of a cliff, cornered by these jihadists who were screaming Allahu Akbar after he took out Al Qaeda's leadership. Jumps off there and they jump along with him. And then here's a part of the debate in the comic book convention, post 9/11 comics here. And yeah, guys, so it's basically this is a different kind of war comic. It's culture war, political war, philosophical war, media war, brothers at war, and war on the battlefield. Recovered Muslims versus born again Muslims. Here's Pigman on cover number 1, killing that guy, punching that guy to death. That guy's scared shit. That guy, his tongue's out. He's like, "What the?" That guy's playing dead. The guys with the guns are even shaking. They don't expect to see someone like him. That's why Super Jihad at one point tells him, when I first heard of Pigman, I knew there was something about him. I knew he was ex-Muslim because he has a ruthlessness. He's complimenting himself, clearly. Complimenting himself, but he goes, "You're fighting an inverted jihad." And in a way, that is true. He is stepping up to the table. He's not operating the way your average infidel is. He knows intimately that these guys will be the death of us if we allow them. If we allow them, they will take us out. He knows that. So knowing that, he acts accordingly, kills them. Here's the cover with the 4 main characters: Killian Duke, Salam Duka, Super Jihad, and Pigman. They were friends, almost like brothers, working together, writing against Islamic Jihad. Super Jihad and Pigman, as Frank Warner and Muhammad, ends up being Dr. Muhammad, an advisor to Obama. That's a different story also. It's something you'll see. It's a revealing and fun moment when he confronts Obama. But let me keep going. And Trump does, he factors in at some point. This is a cover of Pigman vowing to end jihad. That's his goal, to end jihad. Is nothing short of that. If he dies along the way, he dies, but that's his goal. That's a 5th cover, profile. I have hard index card drawings of a Pigman that I draw. All different poses, positions. You can, if you want, you can even ask me what you want. I don't do obscene stuff, but ask me. You can get all 5 covers. You can get digital copies. You can get a T-shirt with Pigman symbol, the war paint print. I want it all pack, which includes his trading card, Submission Impossible, Table for One, my first graphic novel, some sketch covers. I can draw the original art drawings of me on the blank page that I draw of Pigman, Killian Duke, and others. Original art here, and then also these commissions. So thank you for allowing me to. Thank you very much, man. Thank you very much. Someone ordered. Thank you, man. I love it. I love getting live backers. I love it. Thank you very much, whoever you are out there. Thank you. Much appreciated, man. I'll be hitting 16,000 soon. I want to shoot for 20, and then from there, I want to go for a little more. I want to add some stretch goals that I'm thinking about. 247. Thank you very much, man. Thank you, guys. You know, I want to get to as many backers as I can. So let me read your comments, guys. Thank you, guys. Back Pigman, thank you. SXS says, yeah, Absolute Batman is big dumb Batman. I don't see it lasting. I don't either. You know, he's like, he looks stupid. He looks dumb. He does. He looks like a big ape. It's like, that's not Batman. Batman is in great shape. He doesn't have tree trunks as legs. It's really stupid looking. And I know people pretend they like it, you know, and so on. It's like, yeah, sure. Uh-huh. I don't think so. By the way, I'll be getting a nice amount of followers here on X, a little spike of followers. Someone reposted something of mine, so that's pretty damn cool. Because I've been stuck at 26,000 forever, for a long time. Now it's going to halfway, 26,000.4, and you know I want to get more and more. I want to have the ability to send my work out there in a wider way. You always want that. You always want to be able to promote your work in a more effective way. Okay. A man called Plush. Hey, Plush. Interesting how Miller's Bruce and Selina echo his characters Dwight and Gale in SimCity. Hooker and black-haired Grim Protector nicknamed Lancelot. Interesting. I guess so. To some extent, yeah. What's with Miller and hookers? You know, it's like, you know, is that what he does? I don't know, but he always makes heroic horrors. That's his thing. I don't know how heroic they can be if they diminish themselves to that level, to that extent, sell their bodies for a buck. Must do damage to one's soul or lack thereof. It's only so long you can retain a soul, I think, if you do that anyway. And yeah, you know, people can do what they want and all that. Yeah, sex workers and all that language. Soul destroying. It's not just the body at the point, it's what you're doing with it. Those things should be reserved for people you want to be with. Anyway, I can get to moralize here, but let me just keep going, guys. Grumpy Old Ninja says, I don't like any of the Absolute titles. I haven't read any of them. I looked at some of them. I looked at some stuff, and it was enough for me to be turned off. It's just a bad Ultimates runoff. It's supposed to be what if Darkseid wrote the universe? Is that the idea? It's not like that. Is that the idea though? Was that the setup? If so, that doesn't even work. Wonder Woman is absolutely terrible. Yeah, I believe it is. Grumpy Old Ninja Kentaro says, I never believe Obama to be American, at least not in his heart. Absolutely not. No. He's the first and pure, truly foreign U.S. president. In ideas, in every way. I mean, as far as I know, maybe he wasn't born here. I don't know. And I mean that. I'm not playing the, you know, birther thing. The guy also born to a Muslim father, a communist mother. He was from 6 years old to 10 years old. He was in Indonesia. What the hell is that about? No one talks about that, but he was there. What the fuck's that about? As a Muslim and taking Quran classes. You know, he was an apostate also. He left Islam. It's like, you Muslims have no problem with that? Don't you want to kill apostates? It's very strange. Backing from Saudis. He got money from Saudis. Why? Over the years, why? On his way up to power. What's that about? The guy's a fraud beyond belief also. Even a guy who was, you know, a liberal, maybe even left-leaning, wrote a biography about him. And he gets convinced that he's a fiction, that Barack Obama is a fiction. Everything we know about him is fake. Everything. His novels that he calls memoirs, complete bullshit. He is, as I call him, I said, you know, he pretends to be a Christian. He's an atheist who pretends to be a Christian who has a hard spot for Islam. Not a soft spot, a hard spot for Islam. He also was friends with a terrorist. He had his political coming out party in a terrorist, Bill Ayers' home. Bill Ayers, the unrepentant terrorist. He's a bad guy. He's a bad guy. And, he's doing some dirty work behind the scenes. When you don't see him for a while, he's doing particularly dirty work. He's the only ex-president also who has stayed in Washington, who has stayed in the area of power. The only one. Everyone else went back to their homes. All other presidents do that, except him, because he hasn't left power. He's been running the show in a lot of ways. He has. Biden's not president. It's a whole gang that ran the show with Obama probably as a leader. And that's not conspiracy. Of course, we don't know it for sure, but what do you know? What do we know? We know he's a power monger. We know that he talked about having a third term with a puppet. He actually talked about that. And that dumb fuck was giggling along. Colbert. Ugh. Anyway. Grumpy Old Ninja said, that is Jack Dorsey, right? Yeah. Taliban. He's a piece of shit. These guys got a conscience after the fact. Remember, Dorsey came out and tried to sound reasonable? Fuck off. Fuck off. After years of being a piece of shit. SXS says, I heard Absolute Flash was good, but so far I'm unimpressed. Batman has been in a drought since Tom King's run. Tom King, what a piece of shit. Ugh. He's always my feelings. That's his whole thing. Him and Batman, Bane and Batman fighting naked. Come on, Tom. Is that your dream? I think Tom wants to be between them. All that sweat, disgusting. He's a piece of shit. He tried to use his bona fides as a former CIA agent as a plus. No, that's a negative, bitch. That's negative. And when he supposedly broke up Bruce and Catwoman, Batman and Catwoman, he broke them up. He said he had death threats, so he was going around Comic-Con with security. Really? Some comic book fans were pissed off and said that? Yeah. He's really, really, really concerned about that. He never expressed any concern for people who actually death threats. Actual death threats from people who would back him up. Grumpy Old Ninja says, Laura doesn't care. She wants to show what's true and don't chide her for it. Rhinos are a problem. Yeah, they are. They got to be cleaned out. Trump is more than willing to play along, though, which is unfortunate. He's not ideological. He's not. He thinks he can play with anyone, work with anyone. You can't do that. You can't. You got snakes all over the place. And see, even now, there are still snakes in his cabinet, probably. But we'll see. Flutterbat says, Obama was never American. It's been proven. He's also the top Nazi who brought the Muslim Brotherhood into this country. He gave a speech to the Muslim Brotherhood in 2009 in Egypt. And I recall, and it's obvious if you look at the speech, you look at Obama, right? It's not by accident that he looked like he had at least a day's worth of non-shaving, if not two. It was a little signal. I know it sounds, but that was his signal. Like, I'm with you guys. Don't worry about it. And he talked about how horrific it was for the Prophet Muhammad to be, talked ill of. It's like, why, bitch? You're supposed to be an American. Why do you care? He tried to bury the country. He did. And that tells you how powerful what our founders built. That even with an assault like that from within, 8 of his years, 4 of Biden's, it still can stand. It still can get back to possible shape. We still have a shot. That's how powerful this country is. It can survive enemies within to even to that extent, but it can't survive for much longer. If we have 15 years, 26, it's over at that point. You have to have what's happening now. You got to get in there and dismantle the left, the machinery. Once you do that, you can maybe get back to some kind of America, a great America. Thanks again, guys, for backing Pigman. Thank you very much. Keep going, man. Keep going, guys. Some of you may be waiting for a closeout. I don't know. Do it now. because I think the more you do now, the more willing I'll be able to close it out at a certain point. I still have until July to fulfill all this, so I have a little time to decide because I don't want to do it a short month. I didn't want to do that. I want to see. I'm testing waters here. It's my first campaign, so we will see. Grumpy old ninja says communists took over higher education and through that took over K-12. They did. And we have to speak in these terms, guys. I'm glad that you guys are doing this because that's what they are. They are communazis. They are Nazis. They are National Socialists. We have our National Socialists. They are Nazis. They're racists. They hate Jews. They hate America. They hate freedom, hate capitalism. They want control of others. They want a dictatorship, ultimately. They had a taste of it with COVID lockdowns. They had a taste of it. They can lord it over us, right? And they want it back. And right now, you have this dictator in charge who wants less power. What dictator wants that? None. None. Yeah, Lauren Chen, she's a piece of shit. And it's funny, I remember at the time people were trying to defend her, like, hey man, we haven't heard her side. We haven't heard anything from her, guys. In months and months and months. She's guilty of sin. She took dirty money and tried to corrupt others. She absolutely did. And she was also rode right in for Hamas after 10/7. It's like, what are you doing? Why are you hating Jews all of a sudden? Is that a thing now? Her, Candace Owens, Tucker Carlson, all these rats, all of a sudden lost their humanity and got some payment for it. Because they're like, all of a sudden, for some reason, the worst attack on Jews since the Holocaust in a single day, all of a sudden they hate Jews more than ever. It's like, what? They just got slaughtered, over 1,000 of them. And you're blaming them for something? No. And I remember seeing this after 9/11. If you recall, guys, you may have heard this yourselves. I remember some scumbags were talking about, well, guys, you know, if you apply planes into buildings, we must have done something. That's the attitude that some people have. It's like, really? So Pearl Harbor, it was our fault? 9/11 was our fault? We deserve this? And anyone who said, all the scum who said, I have it in my debate here on issue 2, actually, about 9/11, where one of the guys, he suggests, a leftist cartoonist, he goes, I'm just saying, we did some bad shit. He goes, are you saying we deserve 9/11? I'm just saying, we did do bad shit. And the idea is, he goes, okay, did you personally deserve 9/11? Well, I guess so. That's the thing. Anyone says we deserve 9/11? No, fucker. You deserve it, fucker. If you think you're that guilty of something, you deserve to be in those towers. Those who were in there didn't deserve it. Grumpy old ninja says, I can't stand him. He's a piece of shit. And people, humor him and stuff, and they talk him up. He's a piece of shit. First of all, he's a fucking Muslim, guys. No man submits to Islam in their mid-30s, late 30s. No man does that. No man does that. It's like all of a sudden the Muslims a good thing from Benny Johnson, all these fuckers. I mean, Tucker Carlson, Candace Owens, all of a sudden he's the guy to interview. Pieces of shit. He's a misogynist. He's charged with rape, charged with sex trafficking, beats up women, talks about banging, as he puts it, 14 to 15-year-olds. He's a piece of shit scum. And I drew him also a number of times. You guys can see them, I guess look it up on Google or X. Comic Books and Who says scumbag. He is a scumbag. Flutterbat says, or you call me scumbag for calling him a scumbag. I'm joking. I know some people have called me out. You fucking pussy. You won't last a minute with him in the ring. What? What? All of a sudden, what? If anything, I mean, I just, I've gotten in fights in my life, and the guy he was a professional fighter, so yeah, I might not, but that's not where my mind goes. I don't want to fight him. I just want to get him the fuck out of this movement, get him the fuck out of here, and people condemn him. Just shun him. Put him where he belongs, out of the fucking spotlight. That will kill him. Flutterbat, yeah, they're actively trying to destroy all women's rights. That is why it's so baffling to me that they have so many female supporters. It makes no sense. About the Tates? Muslims. Grumpy Old Ninja says, I just mean the Russian Today station only because America would decry him. You know, they're used as a contrarian to American news. Yeah, they're bad guys. They're corrupt. And they bought Lauren Chen, and Lauren Chen tried to corrupt the others. Because Lauren Chen was against Bush, remember? She had a sharp turn against Bush, and then a sharp turn against Israel and Jews, remember that? She's a whore who got paid. Millions is the word. Her and her husband. Uh, SXS says, but I really liked Anne Hathaway. I didn't think she could pull it off. I didn't think so either. When I heard she was cast, I was like, oh, fuck. That's a bad cast. It's like Katie Holmes and also the other one. I was like, it's Nolan. Some reason he just doesn't, I don't know, doesn't cast the best women. He just doesn't. But she did a good job as Catwoman, all things considered. She really did. She pulled it off pretty damn well. Flutterbat said, "Oh yeah, I thought Michelle was incredibly hot as the cat she was, even if the film was. Oh yeah, it sucked. I mean, look. People say, "Oh, now it's great." It's no, the test of time. No, it's a bad movie, but there are cool moments. She looked great. The suit that Keaton wore was fantastic. The reptilian musculature at that point with the plates. It wasn't just like a fake muscles. It was actually plates that looked really, really cool. And this one moment where Bruce and Vaseline and Carl, they're at the party, a Christmas party, and they're under the mistletoe, and they repeat the line that they said as Catwoman and Batman, and then they realize that they are who they are, that he's Batman, she's Catwoman, and they pause and the camera goes back. It was a really, really great shot that Burton made. Was it by accident? I don't think so. I think it was on purpose. The way the camera went, and Bruce looks back, and he's like, and the music, and they look at each other, and then they hug quick, and she goes, "Are we supposed to fight now?" It was a funny line to break the moment, but things like that are good. Moments here and there, but overall, pretty damn bad. I mean, Burton is not a storyteller. He's just not. He's a visual guy. He's like Zack Snyder, visual. They're not storytellers. Does that look cool? Does that look cool? That's the idea. It's like Jim Lee. Cool shot. Yeah, great. You're supposed to be a storyteller. Is it just me, guys, or Hush 2 came out. Any buzz? Any hype? Truly, any? I don't know. I haven't seen it. I haven't felt it. Now, I've been out off the grid in mainstream comics mainly. I get Comicsgate comics. I get some old comics, omnibuses, artist editions. That's about it these days. Anything that looks pretty cool, the independent stuff, I will order. Grumpy, Michelle Pfeiffer is incredible, but Selena Kyle's black hair. It would have been nice if they made her black hair too. Maybe at one point, maybe to switch at least. Or put on a black wig or something like that. Yeah, Grumpy never understood why they didn't dye her hair. SXS says DC movies need to break free from the dark, edgy Nolan Snyder version takes and go back to Bruce. For sure. And they might be doing that with Superman. And it might be a different version of Batman. I think it will be. I think Gunn's Batman will be a different version, more considering the way Gunn speaks sometimes, a 70s, 80s version of Batman pre-Dark Knight. We'll see. As long as it's not blue, like goddamn Cape and Cowl, as long as it's not light blue. I think John said that he liked that. I don't like it at all. I think it looks stupid. It looks like bubblegum over his body. It looks really silly. It might as well be pink, like bubblegum. But Batman doesn't have to be all Dark Knight all the time. It doesn't have to be. He'd be a healthier character. It'll be interesting, and I hope that him and Superman are allies. I hope so, and I think they will be allies, friends, because they know that they work. It's a Miller thing, and Miller, when he asked about it, he goes, "Well, he could fly, and we can't. Of course, you hate him." It's like that's stupid. It's corny. It's such a dumb line. And Frank Miller's too smart for that. Also, that's not even a clever way of putting it. Grumpy Old Man says Zoe Kravitz Catwoman not possible as Zoe ain't Caucasian. She's mixed and she looked great. So Headless Bourgeois says, looking forward to your review of Electro Assassin. Yeah, me too. That and Straight Toaster were Sankovich's greatest works, in my opinion. I looked at Straight Toaster. I couldn't get into it from what I remember, but he is a hell of an artist. And Electro Assassin is great. It's a great story, well told, incredibly painted, and a lot of energy. Wow, it was a really, they went loose. I mean, they just broke loose on there. And again, it was Jim Shooter allowing these things to happen. I mean, the great Jim Shooter. He could have just squashed that, but he said, "No, this is good stuff here." He gets a bad rep. I think Shane was trying to say that he was controlling all the layouts and Secret Wars, this and that, and all the comics. Look at the comics that he was the overseer of. The New Mutants by Sienkiewicz. Wild, you know, not conventional at all. Um, Raul Julia says, "What is the actual reason they hate pigs so deeply anyway, Bosch?" I think that they adopted it from Judaism and part Christianity, because all the religions don't like pigs somehow, some way, but Judaism, doesn't. And that was Muhammad's way of also connecting the faiths and also saying this, like, guys, we're connected here, and I'm the final prophet, so just submit to mine, and we'll be a one, huh? Huh? And they were like, nah, just fuck off. And that's when the real Muhammad came out. They said after 13 years of failed proselytization, he finally just acted. No. When he had numbers, he started to raid the Jewish caravans, and people were like, "Huh, you can be a criminal and be religious. How about killing? Yeah, you can kill too. Ah, okay." That's it. So, the only innovation he made with these religions was jihad, you know, meaning they continued their old Arab ways of stealing, raping, pillaging, killing, right, warring, and they gave a religious, veneer over it. But it doesn't matter, guys. It doesn't matter what the thing was. The fact is, today it's a religion that people actually believe in. It doesn't matter that you don't believe it. Doesn't matter that you think it's a false religion. Doesn't matter you think it's not a religion. They believe it. You don't fly planes into buildings if you don't believe you're going to fly into paradise. These are true believers. They're dangerous, and you got to fight them on that level. You can't fuck around. You can't allow this enemy to operate in a nuclear age unchecked. It's impossible. We have let them, but we can't. So yeah, that's a role. It's a number of times in the Quran. The pig is cited as a loathsome creature, disgusting. And then there's a technicality, of course. If you're dying, you could maybe take a little nibble, just in case, and so on, because you're a Muslim, therefore you're valuable. Non-Muslims, yeah. And when they say also, guys, when they talk about the innocent, they're always talking about Muslims only. The innocent are Muslims only. You cannot be an innocent if you're not Muslim. So when they say in the Quran and in the world, Islam forbids the killing of innocents. Islam forbids killing of Muslims. And of course, you got Muslims killing Muslims as well, but they're a justification, but they're not really Muslims. They're sellouts, and so on and so on and so on. But yeah, even as moderate / lax Muslims in my family, you got the wrong kind of bologna, meat, hot dog meat, whatever. If it was pork, beating the shit out of. Pig shows up on television. My mom recoiled. Oh, disgusting, That's what I brought to Pigman. It's like, I remember those things. It's like, wow. Someone thinking that they ate pork, just spitting it out. Oh, no, they were being joked with, but it's like a repulsive thing, a repulsive creature. And then I asked Muslims also, I said, "Oh, okay, so why did your great Allah create the pig?" Like, I said, why? I said, "You know why? Because the pig came before Allah. That's why." Okay? Muhammad created Allah after the pig existed. Anyway, SXS says to Egon, my pitch for Batman is to do it set in the 1930s. I would love to see that as well. As a neo-noir film, take the whole DC universe back to the golden age with visuals inspired by Alex Ross art. Would love to see that version, because that's what Batman actually was. He was a 1930s creation, as was Superman. It's pretty wild, guys, but Flutterbass says, wrapped in actual pigskin, that is going to be also awesome. It will be. I've had it always in my head. I just, again, I got sidetracked with the series. I was working on a 500-page graphic novel. I was working on another 350-page graphic novel. I was working on cartoons for the Freedom Center for 14 years. I did thousands of cartoons, so it was always something. But I always knew I'll get back to it, and here I am getting back to it. So, and then I will fulfill this and get to issue 6 and wrap it all up in a pigskin leather hardcover. I've heard a lot of people who think superheroes will work best in live action as period pieces. The FF, that's the big appeal, I think, for the Fantastic Four this time. It takes place in the 60s. I like that. I like that a lot, aesthetically speaking. I love it. And also the nature of the characters and who they'll be of a more innocent age. Hello, Let Kick One. Remember the moderate extremists, right? Trevor says Islam is the place that Vlad the Impaler learned his craft. That's right. 3 more to make 250 backers. That's so cool, man. I did want to hit that landmark 250, and ultimately I want to get to 500. I want to get it more, but 500 will be a really good one, guys. Really good. I'll be like, okay, we're moving clearly on to issue 2. I'm not saying that's the number, but guys, I didn't know what to expect here. I didn't. It's all new to me. I do appreciate your support, but I do want more. I gotta admit. I want more backers, and it's my job to make sure I get more backers. And again, I'm trying to find ways. I'm willing to spend the money on advertising. I just can't find these fucking advertisers. It's like, God damn it, guys. Is everyone a pussy? Not everyone, but God damn it, a lot are. I don't know. I got to figure something out. I got to be creative about it. I want to get the word out. Trevor says, hookers with a heart of gold is a theme in Westerns. That's right. Hello out there says, I 100% well said, never an American in his heart for sure. That's for sure. He's a nihilist. He's an anti-American. He's fundamentally opposed to our values. 100% Obama. Again, raised by Muslims and communists and didn't question it. That's what a piece of shit he is. And any American, any healthy American would have said, fuck off, man. Enough of this shit. I want to be myself. I don't want to be a product of my background to that level. I mean, with this evil around me, left and right. Yep. Headless Bourgeois, the Weather Underground, heroes of the American left. Yep. Bill Ayers, the Weather Underground, they killed Americans. They killed cops. They murdered them, and they got away with it. And there was on a technicality, some dumb fucks in our courts. They fucked up the prosecutors. They let him free, and ever since he's been like, okay, I think terrorism was. I could get one to jail. You know what? Let me fuck the kids' minds up. So he became a teacher. He's been poisoning minds ever since. Trevor says Obama was anti-gay marriage until he could exploit it. Yep. Michelle was, that's right. Obama was anti-gay marriage, and then he became the first gay president. Remember that Newsweek cover, the first gay president? And then you find out from his liberal, left-leaning biographer that Obama used to send letters to girlfriends, plural, that he dreams of making love to men. Not that he wants to bang dudes, not in the kind of way, dreams of making love to men. That's gay. That's not some young punk trying to experiment or something in his own mind, like, well, he gets caught up in something. It's a romantic notion about men. That's gay. And it is what it is, but when they say the first gay, I remember I made a cartoon years ago. Remember Hope, the poster? I put homo, and it was pink. And someone close to me successfully talked me out of it, but I did share it, eventually. Instead of hope, it was homo. It was all pink with that same look, but I redrew, the Obama, the poster, the whole poster. I made him look a little bigger ears, a little longer. He has a real flabby, chin. He has some lines there. He looks, he's such a piece of shit. Gotta get him the fuck out of here. Just get the fuck out of the country, pig. Go to Saudi Arabia. Go to Iran. SXS, LOL, I forgot about the naked fight. It was all just so terrible, and the art was weak. Too many 3D models, especially in that crappy jokes and riddles. Oh, God. Oh, my God. Remember that? The Riddler Joker Wars. This guy sucks so bad. Evening, Flighty. Headless Bourgeois already back cover 2 of Pigman when it launched, just back cover 1. Thank you very much, man. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. But there was a new backer because if you already backed it, then it wouldn't have showed up as backer, so it just added the money there. But thank you very much, man. Appreciate that. Very, very cool. Raul Julia in the ring. Not sure what we're talking about. Sorry, guys. Lost a little context here. After this, I do got to get going. But thanks for being here, guys. Appreciate it. Thanks for indulging me here also because, again, it's a Batman review. That's the title. But once I'm done, I want to go into the stream and talk with you guys about anything. Anything goes here. Grumpy Old Ninja says, I hate that Obama got a third term and Trump doesn't. Yeah, that's right. SXS says, I don't think anyone cares about Hush 2. Didn't Hush die in the first story? I think so. I don't. Okay, think about that, guys. Think about that, SXS. You're asking, didn't he die? I'm not even sure if he did. I read it. I'm not even sure. It was what Hush was a Jim Lee portfolio of Batman in story form. Not really a story because Jeff Loeb is just lucky to be there. He's like, what do you want to draw, Jim? Huh? And then he goes and chases his ass and say, okay, yeah, you want a joke in this issue? Okay. He's not a writer. He's a cog in a machine, as I mentioned recently. He's not a writer. He's not great at all. He's not memorable. I don't remember that. I remember it was supposed to be some epic tale. No, absolutely not. Some old guy I used to know. It's like, okay, a friend. Big shit. He has like a mask. I don't know. Is it normal looking? Does he have a mask? Is it a mask just to cover his face? I don't even know. Or is his face damaged? I don't remember. Headless Bourgeois said, Titans comics, Conan books are the only mainstream comics I'm picking up these days. Me too. But I'm not picking them up if Roberto Della Torre is not drawing them. The guy's that damn good where he makes everyone else pale by comparison. So I skip the other artists who fill in, and they're serviceable. Some of them are good, I forgot his name. What's his name? He's a good artist, but he's not Roberto Del Toro. Roberto Del Toro is great. He brings back the John Buscema. I believe it is Buscema because I remember the interview with Stan Lee and John Buscema, a video version of the How to Draw Comics Marvel Way. It was called, Buscema. Some people say Buscema. I think it's Buscema. He's Italian, but great artist. And Roberto Del Toro clearly is paying homage to Buscema, but his Conan's a little bigger, a little heftier, just a little more bulky. The storytelling is great. The inking is fantastic. He's great. The color is great. The stories are good. But I won't get it unless he draws it. To me, it's Comicsgate. It's that Conan thing. It's Capullo. I just got the Wolverine Revenge issue 5. He's been very late, man. Very late. And, I don't know. I guess whatever. The editor isn't there to say, okay, man, you used to do this monthly. Can we do that now? You are just penciling it. You're not inking it. You're not writing it. Come on. Raul Julia said Batfleck was blue in the Flash. Right. He looked stupid. Something about the nose. Looked weird. He looked weird also. He was fat and thin and back and forth. I don't know what the hell's going on here. Oh, the cloven hooves. Raul Julia. Trevor Nielsen. The pig hatred probably stems from trichinosis in the Middle East. Yeah, they weren't the best at fully cooking their meats. You'll notice Northerners don't worry about it as much, but we cook the hell out of it. That's true. There was something to that. Bacon, ham, absolutely. Even pork chop. I had once, it sucked. I didn't like it, and then I had another one that was pretty damn good. I've had ham, but bacon is, that's the main thing. When I do have pork meat, pig meat. Raul Julia. I wonder what Muslims think of the movie Babe. It's funny you say that because that was the movie that popped up on the screen. My mother, recoiled. SXS says FF looks good even if Pascal sucks. He does suck. Should have been Krasinski. I think it should have been Zachary Levi. I think it would have been a great read. Great Reed Richards. He's smart. He's articulate. He's tall. He's lean. He's the right age. He has actual gray hair on the sides. He has that look. He would have been great. But of course, his politics, right? I think that he wouldn't even have been considered, but he would have been perfect for it. Lean, smart, articulate, good looking, just right. And it's unfortunate they got Pedro fucking Pascal as the smartest man on earth. Get the hell out of here. He can't pull it off. Plus, he has this beak nose that with no upper lip. It's like a weird looking thing. It looks like a hawk, and he's always like off. He's not ever in shape. Maybe when he was younger, maybe, but not now. And I think Zachary Levi would have been perfect, better than Krasinski. But Krasinski is not. He's a off-looking guy. He looks off, man. Doesn't have that classic look. Zachary Levi does more so, even more so now than he did years ago on Chuck. He would have been perfect. Zachary Levi, perfect. Reed Richards. Flutterbat. God, not some made-up Allah character created pigs because they help clean up waste. Pigs have no sweat glands, which makes them perfect for keeping the earth clean. Yeah, it's funny. Michael Obama's brother looks exactly like him. He does. Or that's his sister. Maybe he went woman, she went guy. They both had transitions years ago. Newsweek calls him the first gay president, and his wife's biography is called Becoming Michelle Obama. What a strange thing. It's like becoming what the who the fuck are you anyway? You're the goddamn ex-president's wife. Nothing else. No achievements to your name. Zero. Becoming Michelle Obama. What a pathetic title. Trevor says the Obama big ear thing is what MSNBC doxed Batten for. Is that right? Is that right? For making him big ears? Jesus Christ. SXS says Roberto Del Toro is Barry Wynn Smith and Carrie Nord level good on Conan. Possibly the best. Possibly the best is true. He's possibly the greatest artist who ever drew Conan, which is amazing considering the history. He's that damn good. If you haven't gotten it, guys, you should get it. He drew a handful of them, but just nowhere near enough. Nowhere near enough. SXS, have you read any Comicscape books yet, Bosch? I have. I mean, Ethan's. I read Liam's. I read Graham's. I know I read more. I read, Isom. That's not Comicscape, I know, but I got a whole stack of them here, actually. I have Godlike. I have Inglorious Rex 1 and 2. I have a few of them. So I'm gonna get to them, and I'll make some comments here and there every so often. Grey Wolf, I love bacon with a big, thick ribeye steak and scrambled eggs. Sounds great. Absolutely. Trevor says Pedro Pascal isn't even the smartest man in the phone booth. He's not. He doesn't exude intelligence. He has a weird, froggy voice. He doesn't have that look. It's like Reed Richards. That's how Reed Richards. No, it doesn't. Stupid. Flutterbat says, I saw a picture on John Malin's stream the other night on some modern Marvel comic with Wolverine as a black dude. They have even race swap Wolverine now? Is that true? What? I guess it's inevitable. I just never saw that. Wolverine is a black guy. What the hell? Grey Wolf said Malik Obama told us that's Obama's brother. Well, in Africa, told us several years ago that Barack was born in Kenya and even showed a copy of his Kenyan birth certificate. Is that right? Interesting. Becoming a woman. That's right. SXS. Trevor says Batten was doing a strip. Yes. I remember that. Lil Obama with James Gunn. I remember that. But I didn't know that I know that he got some heat. I didn't know to that extent. My God. Fucking left. Roll Julie, they said Bush looked like a monkey too with his ears, right? Flutterbat says exactly, Grey Wolf. I heard about that too. It's been proven Obama wasn't American. Trevor, when it started to become popular, MSNBC showed his address on air. What pieces of shit. Comic pros turned their back on him and me by proxy. Man. Read Ricardo. Yeah, that is what it is. I think it was Shane who showed that picture. Jesus Christ, a black Wolverine. It's inevitable. Again, I guess so. Guys, thank you very much, man. I came to the end of this. I got to get going, but thank you very much for your time, and thank you for backing it. If you haven't backed it, guys, come on, man. Just think about it. Read it. Check out the video. You know, you want something different, you'll get something different, guaranteed. Unlike any comic out there, that's a fact. You know, John Millen said the most important comic in Comicsgate, and maybe in comics general. You know, if you like John's stuff, if you know if you think you know what he's talking about, on concept alone, he said that. I'd love to hear his thoughts when it's actually said and done, all out there. But we will see. All right, guys. You take care, guys. Be well. Until next time. Thank you very much. Probably tomorrow. I don't know when though. It'll be the fourth and final part of this review. Thanks, guys. Take care. Be well. Best to you. SXS, thank you, man. Looking forward to reading it. Looking forward to getting it out there, man. Thank you very much. Take care, guys. Be well again. Thank you.